No.
I mean, she's Vice President of the United States. She better be.
Absolutely not.
Of course she's ready to serve. What an absurd question.
I don't know what she's ready for, to be honest with you.
She's already serving. She's making a great vice president.
And now, Deep Thoughts by
Kamala Harris.
Governor and I, and we were all doing a tour of the library here, and talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time in terms of what we need to do to lay these wires, what we need to do to create these jobs. And there is such great significance to the passage of time.
Americans expect, how long should we be bracing for this really sort of historic inflation and some unprecedented gas prices?
Sure. In terms of the discussions that the President, Johannes, and I had, they ranged in subject, including the issue of the Black Sea, and I'll let him explain in more detail as he would like. But we are, again, fully aware and apprised, because we are in constant communication with the President, with his administration here, about the concerns that they have about the entire region and, frankly, the vulnerability. All you have to do is look at the map.
I wouldn't say that she's ready to do that at all. She certainly hasn't exhibited that in the first 3+ years that she's actually been in that position.
Well, if she is the one who ends up serving, that is going to be a very bad news for America. In California, we've seen the damage that she and Gavin Newsom have done to our state. They've turned the greatest state in the country into the most popular state to leave. Both of them, Vice President Harris and Governor Newsom, come from San Francisco. That city is collapsing. It's losing people faster than any major city in U.S. history. The crime is absolutely out of control. And so if that's what we want for the rest of the country, then that's what a Vice President Harris or a Governor Newsom would bring. So it's a very, very disturbing thought for all Americans, for sure.
What's scary is that she is basically admitting that he is not able to serve. Look, we don't need 4 more years of Biden, and we certainly don't need 1 day of President Harris.
I think we've seen the results of Kamala's, the Vice President's version of serving. The border is a perfect example of that. As the borders are, she's done a terrible job, and I have no confidence that she will do any better doing anything else.
I don't know what she's ready for. I mean, she doesn't seem to be able to make a coherent statement.
I think she's been doing a solid job as Vice President, and her duty is, major part of her duty is to stand at the ready, and that's part of her constitutional responsibility.
As bad as the Biden administration has been, a Harris administration would be an unmitigated disaster.
Learning, the Vice President's office just took their 10th staffer that they lost since June. This time, the National Security Advisor, fueling much more speculation about internal strife and the inability of staff to work with her.
She's not only totally incoherent, he may or may not have cognitive decline problems at his age, but at her age, she's just dumb. I mean, let's be clear. Kamala Harris may be the dumbest person ever elected vice president in American history, and that's why people keep resigning. I mean, if you were her national security advisor, and you were competent, and you'd worked hard, and you knew what you were doing, and you watched her in Poland break up laughing when she's asked about Ukrainian refugees, you had to feel a sense of total humiliation. So I'm not surprised that particular advisor resigned, because it's very clear that Kamala Harris should never, ever be allowed to leave the country. She probably shouldn't be allowed to leave the Naval Observatory, which is the residence of the vice president. She is a constant danger to herself and to the rest of us.
That is especially true when it comes to the climate crisis, which is why we will work together and continue to work together to address these issues, to tackle these challenges, and to work together as we continue to work operating from the new norms, rules, and agreements that we will convene to work together on to galvanize global action. With that, I thank you all. This is a matter of urgent priority for all of us, and I know we will work on this together.
I learned about kids jumping on my lap, and I've loved kids jumping on my lap.